Hi everyone. I got a question on YouTube. Someone asked me if I could do a tutorial how to make 80s sounds on synthesizers. So I will try to show how I go about making a new pad sound today. I'm no expert at synth programming by any means, and sometimes I'm not really sure what I'm doing when I program, but I fiddle around and sometimes it turns out really good, sometimes not at all, and sometimes it's just okay. But we will try and make a basic pad sound that sounds nice and that you can use in your songs. We have this Synth1 that we are going to use. This free VST plugin is really nice. It has 2 oscillators and 1 sub oscillator and a few effects and EQ and all of that, and 2 LFOs and an arpeggiator and so on. Several types of filters. We are going to begin with turning so that we have 2 sawtooths. The first and the second oscillator are switched to 2 sawtooth waves, and right now the sound sounds like this. It's quite boring, as you can hear. The first thing we're going to do is detune the first oscillator a bit, like so, maybe to 8, and all of a sudden the sound gets much thicker, as you can hear, because the 2 oscillators are not entirely in tune, and that makes it a nice effect that fattens up the sound a bit. And we can also take the fine tuning, which is kind of the same thing as detune, on the second oscillator, like so. Already we have quite a nice sound. Now we're going to adjust the envelopes here, and we're going to increase the attack so that the slower you, if we take the attack down, it has a sharp attack. I'm not going to go into what all these envelopes do or explain it, because there's so many videos that do that better than I can do it. So I'm just gonna go through how I do my settings here. I increase the attack a little bit, and also the decay. The sustain I'm going to put all the way down here, and this is quite important. The release we have to increase so that the sound has a kind of tail to it. And with the filter envelope also we're going to have slow attack and increase the decay a bit. The sustain, something like that, and the release here also increase that. So now we have, it's beginning to sound quite okay. And we're going to decrease the amount that the filter works, or how do you say that? Yeah, a bit. And also the cutoff frequency we're going to put down so that it's a bit softer. The resonance we're going to turn down for the moment, and the tracking we can leave as it is. And we'll settle for the low pass 24 dB filter here. You can also choose the 12 dB filter. It sounds a bit different, but yeah. But in this video we use the 24 dB filter. Now it's, yeah, the shape of the sound begins to sound quite nice. We're going to turn on the LFO and we're going to use the triangle wave here. And this LFO, if we turn up just a little bit, you're going to hear it works. Yeah, it's way too much. The speed I think is good. But we're going to put this on 1, so just slightly wobbles, or how do you say the sound. And the second LFO we're going to put to the filter, and so now you hear the filter working here. And we're going to turn this down so it just works a little bit. Something like that. Maybe even less. Yeah. Now we get to where I think the magic happens. We're going to turn on the chorus and the unison. And now we're going to hear a big difference, because now it gets much thicker, as you can hear. And we're going to turn the spread here to maximum, so that the sound gets really wide. If you want an even fatter sound, you can turn up the unison, but sometimes it gets too much, I think. And the polyphony we can increase to maximum, I think. It's nice to have as many voices as possible when you play chords. And the chorus, I think I will increase this to 4 times here. Now I think we have a quite nice pad sound. We can also turn on this envelope for the second oscillator. If we decrease or increase the amount, the pitch is going to be affected on the second oscillator. And that gives it a bit of character. If we listen to just the second oscillator here. You hear what it does, I think. So that creates kind of a little bit of movement to the sound that I like. Return it to 50-50 again here. Now we have a quite nice sound, I think. Maybe we can turn down the amount. Yeah, something like this. Oh, and now the sound starts to distort here. Then we turn down the gain so that it can decrease the volume here, and I don't know. But here we have a nice, simple 80s kind of pad sound that I think works for most 80s songs. So you see, it's quite simple to program this kind of basic sound and get a good result. If we can also turn up the resonance, and then the sound becomes a little bit more hollow. And if we turn down the cutoff frequency, this is also really nice. It depends on what kind of color you wish, or timbre you wish the patch to have. And of course we can switch to square wave here on the oscillators, and that changes the tone color quite a bit. And here we have the pulse width modulation. Yeah, so here you can fiddle around a bit too if you want something different in the sound. If we turn back to the sawtooth here, and we take away the resonance, and we go to the Unison here, and we change the pitch to 1 octave higher. Then we have 2 octaves, and that can be quite good for a pad sound and effective. So that you can do. And of course, as we said before, we can increase the Unison if we want to fatten it up, or detune the Unison a bit. I think you get this. So start experimenting with your own sounds, and I hope this was somewhat useful for you. Maybe I will do something with a lead sound and a bass sound also to show how I go about that. But for this video, I think we're done here with pad sound. Have a nice day.